What's up, everybody? It is me. I feel like I'm not that loud. Let me turn up a little bit. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Deafen as well. Oh, there we go. K-Dog, congratulations on first. Tiffany, congratulations on second. How is everybody? We are kind of in a weird situation because I was not expecting to make music this stream. The original plan for this stream was to play Baldur. Oh, what's up, Ashen? It's good to see you. You know, let's do a couple shout outs. Guys, do check out Ashen Phoenix, streamer and friend. It's Tiffany is the newest member of a NAV. Also, streamer and friend, do check them out. But I was expecting to play Baldur's Gate with David and Farm. And last minute, that didn't end up happening. Not the biggest deal, but I kind of don't really have much of a plan for this stream. I figured we could make some stuff on the OP1. There is a project in here already at 80 beats a minute. I don't remember what it is. I don't remember working on this. It's very pretty. Pretty standard so far, something I would make. No Baldur's Gate. I know. No Baldur's Gate. No shout out for me? No. Do you stream, K-Dog? If you stream, I'd be happy to give you a shout out. How's everyone doing? Farmer was just tired. Yeah, I know it's late in America and he had a long day, so he was like, nah, I'm too tired. I can't stay up. And I was like, oh, dude, freaking take care of yourself. Don't worry about it. No, I just have my YouTube channel. I see. Well, everyone do check out K-Dog's YouTube channel. Maybe there is a link on his Twitch page. I don't know. No, this sounds really nice. I don't remember if I had it into my... Oh, yeah. This does sound really nice. When did I make this? When did this happen? I don't even know. I think it happened relatively recently. It's not that long. I'm not bad, just fixing OBS sources and decided to check out Johnny. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That means so much. Yeah, so I want to make something more. I guess, so the way that the OP1 field works is there is 6 minutes of tape. This track, when I looked at it, I think it was like exactly 2 minutes, which is kind of cool. That's it. So we're going to go ahead and start here. And what's this? The speed is 80 BPM. It's slow. So one of the things that comes up a lot in my tracks is I use a lot of pads, which, I mean, how can you not? Like, listen to how beautiful this is, right? To be like... So that's so pretty. My channel's there. I have a few parties. Oh, nice. But let's... Let's go ahead and make something... Where is... That's very pretty. We'll use that. Ashen, I want a cozy game to approach me. It's like way too slow. Mess that up. I don't want to do it this slow. Let's speed it up. So what we will do is we will do a new reel. And what's the speed that I want? It's going to be like... Nope, faster. That's it. And then the... That's it. All right, here we go. You guys ready? I bet you could do... that would be wonderful. Thank you for the lurk. I would really love that, Ashton. I messed it right at the end. We'll hit a D. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Not my immediate mess up. Not my immediate mess up again. Not it again. Here we go. Ugh. Nerves, man. Let's see if I have to do a repeating version of that. I think I like it, but let's do a little drum beat first before we get too far. This tends to help a little. What is this? Nope, 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 nope. So it'll be something like. That's it. Okay, so. So that's 4. Yep, we need 8. Hold on. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Sounds nice so far. Let's do it one more time, 1 octave up. Nope. With that lo-fi filter on, it's a little much. Now I mess up at the very end. Okay, here we go. We got it. Chiho-san. I kind of like that. Let's hear it. They can't see you. They can see you, but they can't see you. A little bit, yeah. You know what? Let's change it up. I have a better idea. So this is an idea, but let's do something else. Hold on. What is the interesting? Okay. I'm gonna switch to 95. And here, I actually like this beat a lot, so what's here? Man, some of these, I have like beats in here. What, like, when did I do this?
Oh, sorry.
This is the problem when you don't I think these are just drum beats. 9 is just drums. Okay, so we're gonna do 95. Use an 808. Kind of like this. So we're just going to do 4 on the floor. It would sound something like this. Right. Something like around there. And then we need to come up with a chord progression. Let's come up with a chord progression, huh? What is it? It's yeah, let's just do something simple like that. So what would that be with the bass? It would be like let's try it. Interesting. Why did I record that like that? Let's try this one more time. Needs more theremin. Dustberry from Super Earth. I've not seen this one, Dustberry. What's up? How are you? How is your Darth Vader going? I'm interested to hear. Oh. I'm interested to hear you, or to see what you were talking about when you said that you messed it up a little bit and you feel like you might add some white to make it a little more, what's it called? Like, so you could see certain things, but you're worried it might be a little busy. I'm interested to hear what you mean by that. Or just see it, because I'm not totally sure. About where you left it, okay. Let's try it out, huh? Yeah, the side of his mask, really, I just feel like I have too much cross-hatching and it doesn't look like black reflecting red anymore. I see. I want to do something with this groove, and I'm not sure what. Everyone seems to like it, so I'm not stressing too much. I've gotten better about it. I mean, that's important. Right, no, but that's such a good point of, like, knowing that you're good at what you do. Yeah, like, I wanted to do something with that, but I just can't think of it. I'm not feeling inspired by it. Let's do something else. Well, we have this. Oh, what's this? That one's fine. This one is empty. We're going to delete this. All right. This is our lo-fi track here. Switch to this one.
Oh, I should've.
Let's switch some things up. So, technically, we have a bunch of projects in here, right? We have this project. Oh, Blast coming in also first. Welcome in. How are you? These are... See, I'm not totally sure what these are. Is that this? It is. Okay. So these 5 are from the Diabetes stream. Then we have 6. We have 7. We have 8. 9 is just drum beats, I think. And then 0 is also just drum beats. All right, we're going to delete that. 9 is just drum beats. So we have 3 here that I need to export. Let's do that. Every day is a breath stolen from someone else. Interesting. For a bit there, I started caring about whether it was good too much again and working on the whole. I'm technically proficient. Stuff generally does what I want it, so I should stop caring about. Well, yeah, I mean, knowing your own limits and like I don't know, I've talked about before, like knowing like I'm not bad and this is as good as I'm gonna get has been super, or this is as good as I'm going to get, this has been super helpful to me. What blast have you been? Let's see. Oh, how is that going? What is the prep that goes into this? I'm actually interested. That is very true, Dustberry, though. I totally would. I would be like, this is great, it's perfect, I'm done. What do I want to make, you guys? I don't even know. I don't even know what I feel like making. Let's see. Again, I wasn't planning on working on music today. I was planning on playing, I was gonna play, Baldur's Gate with Farmer and David, so, like, instead, here we are. Well, I have not actually looked at this. Oh, wow, it looks so nice. Huh, interesting. Chiho's, like, falling out of her chair over there. What's the Koto? I like... Chow Garden Drill, but maybe. Which is this? What am I hearing? Is that this Studio 4 shit? Like, what is this? Is there something in here? Oh, there's something in here. What is this? When did we make this? Does she sit super weird when she draws? She sees like, yes. Yes. Well, yes and no. I mean, she sits, it just depends, I guess. Yes and no. She often will also just sit down on the couch. This is so confusing. I have my stream here. I have Discord open here, but then I can see myself over here in Chiho's camera. I've got like 3 of me up, and you know what else? This is great. I always appear on stream to be like hyper focused and like, this is what we're doing today. This is what we're making, and we make like a bunch of it, right? And everyone's like, wow, Johnny, you get so much done. And here I am 30 minutes into stream, and we've really just dinked around and done nothing this whole time. I shouldn't say that. I guess I did technically. We made something and I just deleted it. So, huh. Yeah, I don't know. I ain't feeling nothing. Oh, you know what I could do? They can't all be shutouts. Exactly. Exactly. They can't all be. You know what would be fun to do is let's see. Ox. How are we doing? Let's take this off. 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 Okay. So that auxiliary is going there. Ugh, where is it? I need a cable. You know what? Y'all. Enough people are always like, Johnny, you should just do freaking what's it called? Like what are those things called? I can't even remember the word anymore. Lullaby. Lullaby. That's the word. You should do a lullaby, Johnny. Actually, can I do the clock here? We should be able to. Hold on. I don't hear it though. Why don't I hear it? Maybe if I switch. Hold on. Check. What am I not hearing now? Huh. Huh. What if I want to... Maybe. Hold on. Why can't I hear you? Ugh, whatever. I can run it through this. Your cable bag and my cable bag are too... Yeah, you like my little cable bag? I don't have a ton of cables in here. I've tried to really bring it down. Would that work? What was that chord progression I haven't played? What if we added a little bit of reverb? Apparently I can play just both of these parts with... But can I can't talk while I'm doing it. But I can play both parts at the same time. I just can't talk while I'm doing it. Guitar is such a trap of a... In case, maintain it. Then you get into electric... Yep. No, it's... Yeah. Alright, let's see if I can... Huh. Why don't I hear it? Oh, right, because we did that, right. I'm like freaking out over nothing. That's very pretty. Okay, so the problem with this idea, just right off the bat, is that I personally do enjoy some drums. So it is a little hard to even consider not having drums in a track. But there are lots of tracks that do that. Let's just try it. Just to screw it up right at the beginning. All right, let's just do 2 minutes of piano. But not like that. Not like that. I don't know how I want to start this. And maybe I should not lean so far over. Huh. Wow, I haven't used a piano sound in forever. That's very nice.
I don't like it because it sounds like G jam.
That's, I should change this progression. We'll do that. Why not?
Sounds good.
Let's try that again. Let me just like straight up forgetting this chord progression. We're gonna do 6, 4, 1, 5. This is not really going anywhere. But I am having fun playing it. That's the most important thing, I guess. Well, this vaguely reminds you of Sisters. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's just piano playing. I feel like I could really tell I was letting the metronome just hold me. Why does this sound quiet? Not me hearing reverb because it's coming in from multiple sources. Ooh. Should probably do, I could always do a little bit of mixing, you know, I mean, I've got a whole album I still need to mix. And that's not going to do itself. You know, take out all the I've mixed some of it already. And that actually may be fun. All right, have a good night. Oh, very nice, K-Dog. Thank you so much for popping in. It's always a pleasure. I don't really feel like, you know, I was very much down for not doing music today because I wasn't really in the mood. Oh, how did the painting go? Oh, it went well. It went well. We successfully painted. I mean, that's it. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, we drove to Nagano. We were painting his cabin, and we weren't really painting. We were staining his cabin, and between the three of us, we got through it just fine. Okay, so if I remember, we have this untitled 2025 album, and I did, I think, the first row. Let me double check. OPZ 5. Is this one? Yes. Okay, so we didn't do this one at all. But if I remember correctly, I'm using a couple of different things. So like this is one of the tracks that we already mixed. Yeah, that's quiet. We're using Chroma Glow. Chroma Verb is cavernous, and Chroma Glow, we're doing the retro tube. Pro, we're doing 3D vintage. Yeah, it's super chill. So we're trying that out. So let's do that. Why is this so quiet? Have I just not been using it enough? That's better. Because I want this to be kind of middle. Well, probably I should just crank it. Have a good night. Okay, so right off the bat, we're doing Chroma, God, I don't even remember what it's called. It's a distortion. It's Chroma Glow. That's what it's called. Chroma Glow. And then for the sends, we're doing 3 sends. We're doing Fab Filter, Pro R2, Chroma Verb, and then of course we're doing Timeless, which is another Fab Filter deal, which is just going to be a dotted eighth because I love dotted eighths. And then Chroma, you know what's interesting is on all these other ones I've been doing Cathedral, but on this one I was doing Cavernous. Huh. So I either just made a mistake on those others, and then this we're just using this like 3D vintage kind of ambiance. Right off the bat, we're doing a 500 millisecond fade in. Let's listen here. All right, so we're using RetroTube, color right. Very nice. Part of me wants to do some of this mixing a little bit differently and do it like, I've started a little bit since I got the, since I got the OP1 field of recording stuff into it in using like some of the tape sounds because it sounds nice. Yeah, what is our thing here? Is it 12.6? It's 13. 13, 15. Yeah, probably I'm doing something like that. This is the hardest part of when you start a project but you don't like see it through. You miss out on some of like the vibes that you were doing, if that makes sense. Like I'm like just like what all was I doing on these? Because I want the tracks to feel cohesive. I am just using those plugins, okay. Nothing crazy. Okay, this one we are gonna tremolo. Get a little bit of drive on it. Get a little tremolo on this. And we want it to be every 5 bars. We'll have it be like an odd number. It's a little weird. You know? Like this so far? I don't understand why this intro is so long. Yeah, we need to cut that, because like why did I intro so long on this? There is no need for the intro to be that long. That is one too many. So far, so good. Oh. Come back. This is basically the same. Let me double check that. What was I doing on the bass and such? Bass we had 80, 80. Wow, all of these are like way higher. 70, 80, 70, 80. Okay. So let's not be afraid to crank it. Fade out. Let's see. Looking good. So far, so good. So far, so good. Interesting that I didn't cut this part for some reason. So it's very calm. It's very slow. When did I make this? I don't even remember. All right. Well, this is going to be what? You know, this album, I haven't come up with a theme for it yet or anything. And I have what? I have all of these mix downs that I need to delete. Don't need these. Yeah, so this is 7. These are going to be AIF.
I tried Minecraft and I died because I was killing animals, and then it became.
Where's the info on this? Are these waves? They're AIFs. Okay.
I think that was animal zombie. So I was killing them.
Alright, they're AIFs. Boom. That's not bad. We did that pretty quick. I mean, these are super chill, small tracks. It's interesting of going into the future of what, stuff's going to sound like and do. This album is going to be coming out in March. The hardest part is going to be naming tracks and coming up with a theme and all of that. I've got a few fun ideas, but I don't know. Sticking with the space theme or something would probably be the smarter deal because they, people tend to like that, but I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes it's not always about doing the smartest thing. It's about doing the thing that you want to do when you're doing a creative project. 5, 6. So this is 6. it's interesting to see this Chroma Glow takes quite a bit of CPU compared to some of the other, like these other non-native plugins that I'm using. Like it's an Apple plugin. You would think that it would. Wait, replace this with, sorry, this is Chroma Verb. You'd think it would be less because it's an Apple plugin, but it's not. Or maybe I just think that. I don't know. That it would be. So these two. Apparently I merged some of these tracks. I don't remember doing that. Don't know why. Fade out is going to be specific. Okay, right off the bat. Whew. Let's turn that down a little bit. I don't need it to be quite so intense. See, this is one that we want to do like this. So far, so good. Interesting, there's no melody so far. There we go. I don't remember making any of these. This was all like earlier in the year. All right, let's do this from the top. Not totally sure I love it, but it also isn't bad, so. Apparently I made this at some point. Chio-san, this looks really good.
Huh?
This looks good.
Oh, yeah.
I like that you kept their cowboy hats.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. The Jurassic Park. First, everybody was wearing
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Look at that. I like it. Very good. Agree.
So this is 8. I wonder what happens if I switch it to be the same camera as my OBS. Doesn't seem to affect it at all. What is this track? What are these tracks I made? That's good enough, I guess. Like, but again, like, what is this? What is this track I made? It's kind of weird, man. The vibes of this album is kind of weird, I think. I don't know. Was I going through something when I made that? I don't know. It's kind of was weird and dark feeling. What is this Yudruchio-san? Did you draw that or no? No, it doesn't look like you drew that. I know your art enough that I'm like, that doesn't look like you did that. Yeah. Hi Oolong. That track you made at the beginning was so amazing. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was sometimes you listen to music or something you made and you're like, did I make this? What was I going through when I made this? This is kind of sad. It's kind of weird feeling. You know what? I bet I didn't love that. I bet a lot of people are going to love that. People are going to be like, oh yeah, Johnny. This track, Unmastered 8, we're going to love this. Yeah, weird can be, exactly. Weird people are drawn to the weird, you know? It's different. All right, what about this one? 7. Ooh. This one has a whole extra track. Let's see if I can remember this one. Chroma Glow. Chroma Glow. Chroma Glow. I love that I'm like not even like doing anything with these yet, and like the CPU usage is already. Oh. Okay. What is this? Who did this? And Oolong, how are you? Welcome in. Guys, do check out Oolong. Fantastic streamer friend as well. I missed the G. Hold on. Sometimes the best stuff is what you don't remember. I feel like it's most of my good ones are that. Like, yeah, I don't really remember. It helps that I tend to wait. I usually like to wait before I get to this part of the process where I don't remember working on it. That tends to do well for me. I think it helps me not hate it, you know? Oh my god. Okay, let's just do this one piece at a time here. Oh god, that's way too much. Alright. It's gonna be 80. And then we got 80 here. Not minus 80, just regular 80. maybe we'll tremolo these two.
Yes. Oh, what did
It's tremoloed. We can turn it up a little bit.
Oh, that's me.
Doing well. Oh man, you know, Oolong, we were gonna play Baldur's Gate 3 today, me, Farmer, and David, but Farmer got a little too tired, so he was like, "Oh man, you guys, I'm not gonna be able to make it. Sorry." And I'm kind of, what we're doing now is kind of me scrambling to figure out what to do. You know. How is Baldur's Gate? All is going very well. We are having a good time. I love this intro here. I love the addition of the ARP. Come on, come on. Good rule of thumb, snare should be louder than the hi-hats. We want the ARP to be clean sounding. So we're not going to add delay to it. That sounds nice. I'm really enjoying some of the mods that are available now. Ooh, what do you, I haven't done any of the modded stuff yet. What have you done? I always have a hard time getting into mods. I don't love tinkering, you know? So like, I don't want to tinker with something to make it work with mods. You know what's interesting is one of the things I remember about a lot of these tracks is I made these tracks specifically for Instagram. And what I remember about that is that I didn't... this is going to be 9. Is I felt like they were going to be short. And I think one of the things that is the most interesting is that these are not shorter. Like they are... So far anyway, they are... all the right, like they're all about 2 minutes. Maybe it's the later ones are going to be shorter, but I feel like I remember them being short. I never did it until Larian added them right into the game. So like, what's your favorite mod that you're using right now? As again, I'm doing a mod-free run, and I haven't gone back to my Dragonborn Druid in quite some time. Oolong, I have been addicted to playing World of Warcraft. I got into playing World of Warcraft. I'm playing on the Laughing Skull server with a couple of ANAV people. And for the last, I don't know, 2 weeks, I have been pretty addicted. I got it working on my Steam Deck. I'm playing it on my Steam Deck, and it runs really well. And, like, every spare moment I've got, I've just been playing WoW. Which is weird, because, like, you know, you wouldn't think that, you know? Like, World of Warcraft right now? I want to do the next 4 at least. What we got? Ooh. What That's a fun chord progression I'm doing. Not super normal of me. Nope, that's Chiao. Different. This one. Now chroma verb. Now timeless. Let's see.
What is this? I'm so excited.
Interesting. Okay. We'll do a little intro. But on World of Warcraft, I'm playing a gnome priest. I'm a healer. I already hit max, or not max. I don't have the newest expansion, so I don't have max. But I hit the max level I can do without getting the new expansion. And I have been healing, having a good time. I mean, I'm not doing any like super intense raid groups or anything, but I would like to think I'm doing very well. Healing. I've had people specifically tell me thanks. Sounding good so far. Let's bring you down some. I feel like I don't. So far, so good. Been adding something like this. What a weird vibe this has got going. I feel like it feels very different than what I normally do. Like feeling wise. I'll check and see what you said in a second, Oolong. Let me just... Whew! Does this feel a little darker than normal? I don't know. This is like way too loud. Let's bring you down. So far so good. Snare. I almost don't want that. Let's go back. You made Lazella Mystic class? Okay, a normal half Illithid, so you still look pretty... Okay, that is something I would like too, because I haven't done any of the Illithid stuff, and I'm not excited about looking ugly. I don't know much about WoW, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. And a soundable Tara? That sounds really nice. And yes, I think this is in a minor key. Apparently, I was experimenting with that. I don't tend to do much in minor keys because... in general, I'm a pretty optimistic and happy person, and I think my music probably reflects that. I don't normally feel like this. I mean, yes and no, actually. I think I do often feel maybe thoughtful and a little darker, but I don't tend to make music like that. This is very nice, though. I'm a fan. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, I feel like my chair, like, automatically, like, slowly lowers. So, like, over the course of a stream, I just, like, slowly start going down. I don't really get it. So this is 10. Yeah, man, I started mixing these in June and I just stopped for months. This just sounds pensive though. Yeah, pensive, that's a good word. Pensive. Maybe that'll be the track title, pensive. But the it sounds nice. It sounds nice. It's a good track. Let's moving right along. Is anyone texting? Ooh, I have a Amazon. So the sad part is I have yeah, this chair, it just slowly goes down and then the next thing I know, it's at the lowest setting, right? And I'm like, wow, everything feels so much higher. And it's because what is going on with this chair? It's like but you know, I think I paid like literally I think I paid like $15 for this chair. You know, like 2,000 yen or something ridiculous, like some ridiculously low number. So like I probably can't complain about it. Ooh, okay, I already like this. I'm already about it. Let's go. This is, you know, I have not wanted to do this, right? I've not wanted to mix this album, but it's interesting because mixing this, I'm kind of like excited. Okay, is all of this in mono? Why is it giving me no? Huh. Oh, crap. Just create a new bus, please. What am I doing? Interesting, we've got 16ths, and even with like that little tap, I don't tend to do that on the OPZ. No, don't bypass it. Replace this with, oh yeah, chroma verb, that's the one. But listening to this stuff, I'm actually kind of excited for this album, like it sounds nice. It's really easy for me to feel like not excited about my music, as bad sounding as that is. And so sometimes when I hear these, I'm like, oh, like, this will actually be really fun. I'm excited. I'm excited for this to come out, for you guys, and the majority of people who listen to my music do not watch me on Twitch, so, like, they'll like it, I hope. I need to focus. What is this? Let's not mess it up too much. Ventus from Soya's community is testing something, I think. He just went live and the thing is, please ignore this stream. I don't know what it is, but whenever you do a test stream, people show up for it, right? People love a good test stream. Including me. Including me. Oh, this is gonna sound great. I actually want more. Ooh, yeah, baby. That's it. So far, so good. back to before this. Come back, here we go. That's it? This one's kind of long, it looks like. I tend to not love these parts, so we'll see if I keep it. Yeah, I don't really love this, that part specific. Here. That, like, the string synthesis engine from Teenage Engineering, I don't like the shortened version of it. That's it. All right. All right, let's go ahead and export. This is going to be 11, I believe. There's 2 OPZ tracks. Or OP1 tracks, excuse me. 65. Export. I'm just over here getting work done. Gonna finish this way fast. Well, you know, I need to think about the names. So again, this is the hard one, right? We've got a lot of space-themed albums, right? We've got Lo-Fi Gravity, Intercept. Then we have Nebula, Cosmos, Starlight. Then there's like Solar System, right? We're running low on coming up with names for these albums, or not even just names, names for the tracks, and the albums is getting harder and harder. And so the jam music still sounds similar to it, and there's a few other things that sound similar that I add still to it, like Sandwiches of America. Oh, Starlight. Did I forget Starlight? So part of me wants to move away from that. I had this whole idea for tracks that are, the album is called just like a color, like green, for example. And then all of the track names are named after like specific shades of those colors, right? Was the idea, but I don't know. That's gonna be like a hard switch to get away from some of these other things. Like, I mean, that's the reason we stopped doing jam selection too, right? Is because we're out of names. But once we get into doing that, like of the colors, I feel like it's gonna be a while, you know? And I don't know that I'm ready to commit to doing that yet. I don't know yet. I don't know. That would definitely make naming some of these things easier. And and then people will be like, oh, I love the Blue album. You know, that's kind of fun. Whoa, it's a little too much. Let's see. Which I love that idea. I just don't know that I'm gonna do it, or I don't know when. We'll tremolo this time. That seems like I know it's a good idea, right? But it also, man, I don't know. I feel like it's such a set, you know? Like, I have an idea of what I want the cover art to look like for all of it. And I don't know that I'm just ready to commit to an aesthetic quite that hard. But then one of the hardest parts of all of this is actually naming it. And it will make that easier. But then I should also probably look into, like, if any of the colors are trademarked, like the names, you know? Alright, let's hear it. So far, so good. So my goal is to finish one row. This one's much shorter. This one's just like a minute and 20 seconds, 25 seconds. This may be getting to the point where a lot of these tracks are going to be a similar length like this. Because at some point I started making these for Instagram videos and I didn't need to make them longer than 90 seconds, right? Or I wanted to keep it under if I wanted the whole thing to be in the track itself or in like the video, because like 90 seconds was the length. I was messing around at one point. So like that was one of the other options. I was like, songs for the algorithm, because a lot of these songs that I will be releasing, I specifically made for Instagram videos this year. Or it would be last year for when they came out. But I don't know. I don't know that I love that theme. It would just be kind of like an anything. Oh, one more, and then we are done. So I don't know that I wanted to do it. Ooh, I feel like I may remember this one. This one's fun. And I don't think all of these tracks were for Instagram, but a lot of them were. So far, so good. Something like this. All right. Alright, so it should sound something like this. Something like this, maybe? See, but then again, this one's longer, so like, maybe I made this one on stream and the other one I made specifically for Instagram? Yeah, look, my chair's already down again. What? Ugh. So, the track could totally end right here. But for some reason we bring the drums back in for like one more pattern and we fade it out halfway through. I don't know why I chose to do that, but it's cool. Why not? And then I may have just chose to do it because of that. Why not? Ooh, this is track 13, Taylor Swift's Lucky Number. What? I made this track September 27th, 2023. So like almost we made this track almost a year ago. I just realized that I put the dates of when we made these tracks in here. Oh my God. What day was that? Hold on. I'll wait for this to finish exporting. No, I won't. So last year, September 27th, I made it on a Wednesday. Huh. Crazy. Save. So like all of these were made.
Do you have middle name?
Those last two songs I made, yes, that day I made a lot.
Lisa.
Most of these songs, or at least I didn't make them on this day, but it looks like I exported them on August 23rd,
Okay. It sounds
which was a Wednesday, like a month before that. Interesting. Wild. Start with this one. Here. Alright, guys. I'm sometimes surprised that the things pass me. Yeah, I'm surprised. Guys, that's it for today. I have a new EP out. What is this if I do PS? Tranquility is out. What about PS2? Mahogany Lodge is out. I've got a bunch of stuff out, guys. Do check out my socials if you want to hang out with me during the week. On YouTube and on Instagram, I do New Music Monday and such. And I've been playing a lot of Tiny Glade, posting those videos. Do check that out, or hit me up if you want to play some World of Warcraft. It was so nice to see you, Oolong. Thank you so much for hanging out. As far as news goes, I have... And Tiffany, you're still here. What's up? I have a new... if you check out my Bandcamp, I have another Goodnight Moon album that's out there that'll be coming out. It's like a pseudo-winter album, so it'll be coming out December 1st. But if you want to listen to it or buy it or something, you can do that over on Bandcamp. And I think that's it, you guys. Last I checked, I didn't have anybody that I, like, really wanted to raid. So I think we're just going to end stream. So I will see you guys next week. Bye.